All right, y'all. So I've been live on Twitch for about 20 hours. A lot of it was just, for this actual Twitch drops. I might be live by the time this video even goes up after all, but I wanted to go ahead and make a season 2 tier list for Gekishin Squadra here. I think a lot of changes have been made to the existing meta of the game, and I want to just talk about what makes characters good, what makes characters bad right now. There's been a couple of adjustments to divine combo cards, but I am not alone. I'm also joined by Mike. Say hello to the people at home, Mike.
It's your boy Mike. Hello, hello.
And yeah, we're just gonna be again talking about the differences in how the game feels right now. Again, there has been a lot of buffs and nerfs and adjustments to every single character that is in game right now. So again, we are just gonna go down through the line on this list, and just to explain each role. Best in role is the 4 best characters for all 4 slots on the team, and would essentially be what I think is the best team in the game, I guess, for the most part, right? Like, you could, of course, have some sub options. That's what Great Enroll's for. Great Enroll is a character that is pretty much like a sub option for Best Enroll, where it's like they're not the best premium team, but they're still really, really good in their respective areas, and even have some edges above some of the Best Enroll slot characters. Good Enroll here is characters that aren't necessarily hitting these crazy peaks that some characters have, but they're still able to do some very effective stuff in game. Decent role is closer to just like underwhelming, but they're not like in desperate need of buffs. You could be really good at them if you know what you're doing, but they do have some weaknesses that are more glaring than some of the other characters above them. The needs buffs are just characters that are too weak right now, in my opinion. Anyways, when we compare each character to each other. Now, I want to say you could use any character in the game for the most part to an effective level, but it's really when it's like, okay, you compare a character to another, and it's like, why would you realistically pick this character over like the 3 other options? If that makes sense, right? And I don't know, Mike, is there anything you would say regarding this specifically? I mean, I kind of just threw this on you, honestly.
No, I get it. I was also gonna say something that you could also put for Great Enroll is it could also just depend on like whatever divine draws you get as well, because a lot of those characters that I'm assuming you're gonna put in Great Enroll could look Best Enroll depending on like those divine draws that you get too, of course.
Exactly, right. And again, they have removed stuff like Cell Juniors, for example, which means that a character like Kale, who was arguably one of the better characters in the game, if not the best character in the game at securing Cell Juniors. Kale is really good at that. Now that's not really a thing anymore. Character like Kale, again, there's no more skill 1 boost. There's now skill 2 boost, which could help someone like Super Saiyan Goku, for example, hurt Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? So there's a lot to really go ahead and consider when it comes to that. So to start the list, I think we'll just go down from Best Enroll all the way to needs buffs. Again, I think it'd be better to just kind of talk about why these characters are the best characters, and then why some other characters just might not be able to meet those expectations. Now, Best Enroll, I think there's many of these options. We'll go through attackers first because it is the most amount of characters, and there are 2 attacker characters that will fit the Best Enroll slot. I would say the character that I think is definitively in there for me right now would probably still be Daima Goku. I feel like Daima Goku's nerf definitely does hurt the damage that he does, but I feel like a lot of characters just have a damage nerf that occurred to them in this patch, right? Like, especially with the amount of power that a lot of these defensive cards do have, damage is just not as impactful currently. Now obviously Daima Goku could still do it just a ton of crazy damage. Daima Goku has the power pole dance as well, which does half damage that he receives here. He's still a really incredibly good character, and he does benefit from the skill 2 damage up. I think Goku with his power pole, he has such a huge range, which is also benefited from the Team Go buff, right? Or what is the exact buff called again for that? Team Rush Go?
I don't remember it off
I think it's like
Team Rush Go.
Team Rush Go, I believe, right? He benefits from that quite a lot because of how far his power pole range actually does go. So that's really, really cool as well. No, Diamond Goku is just actually an incredible character. And I personally still think he is a best in roll slot, like for the best teams in the game. And again, as the season goes on, maybe we'll find more and more use for other characters. But for now, I'm really liking Diamond Goku still up here. I mean, he's able to do kind of everything for an attacker, honestly, at this point in the game. And you could just do many different even builds with him. So I'm a big fan of what Diamond Goku's able to do. Next here, I'm gonna probably say... People are gonna call me crazy for this, but I'm thinking Super Saiyan Goku instead of Super Saiyan 3 Goku is actually my second selection here. And I know
you got a lot of explaining to do.
Well, okay. I think there's multiple things that are going against Super Saiyan 3 Goku's favor, right? And that's, again, the big elephant in the room. Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. I still think he's great in a role. I still think he's a sub-in for best in role slot. The thing about Super Saiyan 3 Goku is that they introduce a lot of things that kind of completely counter him, such as Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which I think is the best in role tank character. Is able to really hard shut down Super Saiyan 3 Goku because of his barrier. Caulifla is still really good, and she also is able to shut down Super Saiyan 3 Goku in a very similar way with the energy block right here. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has the same exact energy block as well. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has a stun ability that could just stagger Super Saiyan 3 Goku out of his Kamehameha. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta could move Super Saiyan 3 Goku, or Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, what the hell? Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has multiple movement options or stagger options or energy blast like counter, and this guy's in like every match right now. Like like if we're talking about like right now, this guy's everywhere. He's in every single match that exists right now. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, while still really good, I just think like his range ki blast, it's just not as impactful with this guy existing in the game. They remove skill 1 damage up, which also hurts this guy. And when it comes to Super Saiyan Goku and what he's able to do, he's just generally better at securing bosses. I think especially earlier on in the fights, once Goku's able to get Kalkin, especially, he's looking really, really good. He has skill 2 damage up. Even though Meteor Hammer did get nerfed, he still does benefit quite a bit from this kind of ability of having this skill 2 damage as well. And I really think that Super Saiyan 3 Goku's like initial burst damage in the Kamehameha, well as the Kamehameha, if every single hit does actually activate, it could actually do more or less very similar damage to what it was doing before. It is a nerf to his Kamehameha damage on top of losing skill 1, while Super Saiyan Goku I think does benefit from how the game is going right now. And his Spirit Bomb, I don't believe, because Vegeta cannot block AoE attacks with his barrier wall. I'm not 100% sure if this Spirit Bomb does count as an AoE attack. I think it does it not?
It does count as an AoE, yeah.
So Vegeta can't block Goku from Spirit Bombing the enemy and getting a secure on these bosses. But Super Saiyan 3 Goku is able to be directly countered by that as well. I think it's just a bunch of like moving things that happen where Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I mean, his IT Kamehameha is still very impactful for many, many characters in the game. And that's why I say he could be a sub-in this specific selection right here. But I think that if I had to choose currently, I think Super Saiyan Goku's up there. Like I would edge out him. But let me know your thoughts, man. That's why I brought you on so we could have this discussion.
Yeah, I don't know, because you've even felt the effects of it too, where it's just like you get Superstar with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and he is stealing the entire lane. Obviously, Cell Juniors make that like that being removed makes that a much less problem now, but even still, he is just able to properly get the entire lane no matter what, and it's such an issue to deal with, because sure, Super Saiyan 3 Goku can get countered by Vegeta, and that's definitely gonna help hurt like early game and stuff. But what stops you from just going Super Saiyan 3 Goku top lane? You know what I mean? So like I get it. I get why you would put Super Saiyan 3 Goku in great and roll. And even as a Super Saiyan Goku main, like I could probably also argue that he would like beat Super Saiyan 3, but it's just like saying it makes me feel like it doesn't feel right to say, you know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't feel right to say because Super Saiyan 3 Goku, his IT Kamehameha is very cheesy, right? I think it's the cheesiest, easiest thing to kind of use in the game to get an advantage. But I just think if we're talking about like good players and things like that, Super Saiyan 3 Goku can clear entire lanes for farm. So can Daima Goku. So can Super Saiyan Goku. So can Bojack. So can Gammas with skill 3 on Superstar. A lot of these characters can also clear lanes of mobs with their big major skills. So while Super Saiyan 3 Goku does it effectively as well, a lot of these characters are also doing that. And Super Saiyan 3 Goku is really annoying with the IT instant transmission Kamehameha, but it's not as dangerous. And I'm talking more so especially in team fight situations. When it comes to Superstar, a lot of characters are going to be more annoying in general, right? But Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's existence still kind of hurts Goku in the same way that I feel like it would hurt like Kale or Piccolo, right? Now I we can kind of continue on from this potentially later, but I do want to finish the best in roll. I think we both know like the best in roll technicals Kid Gohan, right?
Yes, everyone. It's funny how that's like universally agreed upon that like Gohan is number one.
I mean,
that's like the one thing that everyone can agree on since day one.
well, yeah, since Gohan got his buffs on release, Gohan used to be the worst technical on the Project Network or the Gekishin Squadra network test, and then he became best technical because of his buffs that he actually has available to him now, which is really good for him. I mean, it just, you also, another thing I do want to consider as well is World King got buffed, which is really, really massive. So World King giving 350 attack, and then you have Kid Gohan who's giving 400 attack. World King plus Kid Gohan makes these DPS characters do actually stupid, dumb levels of damage. And that's where Kid Gohan, it's just like he not only has that, but guess what? Kid Gohan's another character that is able to fight against Super Saiyan 3 Goku by having this energy defense barrier up here. With this energy defense up, enemies also get energy defense down, which again could be useful for a lot of different characters, you know, that you're using Gohan with. A lot of these damage dealing characters will have this energy defense available. Even Super Saiyan 3 Goku will have that. But again, this is another kind of energy defense ability that you could use in general. Kid Gohan has a stun here. Kid Gohan now has skill 2 damage up. Kid Gohan also does provide a debuff to enemies. With his rush attacks, right? Physical defense down, which, I mean, that could be useful for the Gammas. He has a stagger on his ultimate. Like, the only move that's not really anything crazy is the Masenko. It's, like, decent. Like, you could use it to snipe someone here and there, but it's not really going to be anything crazy. And I think build up getting buffed also really helps this guy as well, honestly. Like, when it comes to this guy, like, his survivability, I think I really like build up on this character now.
On top of that, the skill boost too now, because Masenko, like how you just said, wasn't like the main thing of Gohan, and now it's just like his best ability just got buffed even more because of divine draws.
Exactly.
But I think it's kind of funny.
It is really, really funny. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think that this, again, I really almost want to put him up here. It's just Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Kid Gohan, like, both of them have ways to combat against this guy, and he lost skill 1 damage up, and he doesn't like have really good secure early on for like 16 or Nappa, I think is really it. Super Saiyan Goku's still able to do a lot of these things. Like, even though he's been nerfed quite a few times, he's still like very viable in content right now. So I think these two are definitely switchable, but that's kind of what I'm feeling generally. And as we go down the list, maybe things will change a little bit. So when it comes to other characters in greater role, I think we could talk about this guy. We could talk about Bojack, man. I mean, you've used Bojack as well, haven't you? This
Yes.
guy's
Also, Bojack
stupid.
man, say that again.
Huh?
Because the character.
Oh, Horseman.
Bojack Horseman.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to Bojack, bro, he does so much extra damage now. It's like his skill 1 does the same amount of damage that it did at level 3 at level 1 now, which is really funny. Again, we take a look here. Bojack, skill level 3 for Galactic Buster used to do 564 damage, and now level 1 it does 540. Then his skill 2 is way faster as well. He's able to burst them a lot faster. I think this is low-key the biggest change that people aren't talking about. Skill 3 Cycle Thread is a 40% movement speed down debuff. Absolutely ludicrous. They can't move during this, and it applies continuous damage. Then you can just do skill 3, skill 2, skill 1. You get multiple KOs in a single interaction, especially when you have snowball stacks in this guy. His ultimate's still kind of mid, but it's just like a decent little extra option. You could use this ultimate if you're pushing God of Destruction towers, because your allies will be able to cover themselves inside the actual Ki Blast, and then you're able to get like a Gekishin burst offer too, right? He also has a transformation, which is nice. Go on.
I would say the ultimate though, one thing that you can get a lot of usage out of is for bosses, because even while you're securing bosses with the ultimate and doing lots of damage, because of the fact that World King got buffed as well, you just place that down, you use your skill 3, you use your mines, you use your ultimate all together, and if anyone even comes close to the boss, they're getting hit with all of those attacks all at once.
Yeah, I mean, I've also soloed bosses before with Bojack just by myself, because you use skill 3 into skill 2 to skill 1 into ultimate, and then you just like melt the boss down with how strong World King is. I'm almost like, I mean, I need to see more of Bojack, of course, as the season goes on, but like, you could argue Bojack has best in slot, I think, right now. Like I mean, what if I do this, bro?
Whoa, 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 whoa. The only thing that would stop me from saying that that's true is that Bojack has no escape options. His only escape option is his Psycho Thread.
I know, exactly.
So
that's why I'm not putting him up there. That was joking.
Yeah, the best in role all have something to get out of situations, but Bojack has nothing.
Bojack does not have that. You know what would be really funny? Buff Bojack's ultimate to be like Caulifla's. You can move with it.
No, stop.
Like a slower Caulifla ultimate where you can move around with it. Or, you know, he can move around with this, but it's really slow as well. Bojack can get caught. But obviously, like, joke aside, Bojack doesn't need any other buffs. This guy is incredibly powerful. He's very, very good. Very, very good character. Yeah, I know Bojack is able to cook really, really well now. I mean, I think they did a great job with his buffs. Like, they gave him exactly what he needed. Funny enough, Bojack to me feels closer to like a technical character than an actual offensive character. Like, in terms of his kit design, with the movement speed down, with like kind of like the field control. I mean, but he has that plus the mega damage that a damage offensive character would have as well. So, I mean, I don't think there's any contestant there. So, I think Gamma is also a fit grade and roll. I assume you wouldn't disagree with that either.
I don't know, because it's just like, it's really hard for me to say that they are like that when I just feel like Gamma 2 just dies too fast.
He can die too fast, but they did get... Okay, so EU players actually use gammas with build up now. It like the some of the top EU players, they're all using build up on gammas because it makes it harder to kill them, and they already do enough damage. Like
I've heard of a couple people also just using DPS characters with
build up in
a
general.
lot with, yeah, because because of the buffs to it, you know.
I mean, yeah,
And then like World King is just making up for that lost damage anyways.
exactly. That's why a lot of people are going defense. Like, you know, build up plus solid barrier, and then they will probably go like something like limit breaking jump or what's it called, backstab, right? Is another really good card. Like the gammas can do quite a bit of damage, and the extra tankiness to them allows gamma 2 to kind of, it helps gamma 2's health deficiencies as well. But skill boost 2 I found to be pretty good, honestly, especially with the little shockwave that it does do. And I don't know, when I've been using the gammas with the extra build-up and defense and everything like that, they do feel quite significantly tankier to where you can make more of these risky plays with gamma 2 around. Now, obviously, you want to make sure you still have skill 2 available in case you need to switch out. But, no, they're doing really good. They have a very low cooldown on their ultimate, which means that, you know, like, for example, like Gekishin bursting is really good. They can consistently revive the other gamma in case, you know, one of them does die. And they just do so much damage right now. Like, they do incredible amount of damage. Skill 1 is able to be used pretty decently for escapage, honestly. Like, you just spam all 3 skills, like, by escaping, and you're able to get out of a lot of situations. I've been able to. The stun could also just be used really well for setups. I like the gammas because it just feels like they melt people. Like they kind of really do melt people. And they have to recall, I think, a lot less often, at least from my personal uses of them post the update. But that's why I think I think it's like the gamma 2 health thing is not as big of an issue as it was before.
That's fair. I think because I haven't really used them after the update as much, but I will say that the core breaker can be used a lot for like boss secures, and when you have like 2 bosses and maybe like the enemy has like 1, it could be like such a help to just have it where you're able to just confirm basically for free because of that core breaker. And then if anyone's in the area, guess what? They're also dead.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that.
Like core breaker can be very crazy.
Yep. Exactly. And Core Breaker could be so good as well. They have a lot of tools, and I think their buffs overall, like seeing the ability to have World King and then you get built up on these guys really did help them out quite a bit. Without that build up buff, they probably would be honestly potentially good in roll, but I think they're good enough for great in roll. I feel like the rest of characters, I don't think I would put anyone else in great in roll at this point. And I mean, the 2 characters I would have put in that space before would be Kale and Piccolo. But again, I think Vegeta's existence and just the fact that characters are generally tankier, I think with kind of this like build up defensive card meta going on right now, Kale and Piccolo aren't as crazy, especially with them. Like Piccolo has evasive options, Kale doesn't, and like again, you just locate where the Piccolo is with Vegeta. You're like, no, like you could very easily you can make Piccolo miss his special room cannon if you know what you're doing with Vegeta, right? Which
I was gonna ask that special beam isn't an AoE, right? So
no,
Vegeta can block it.
Vegeta could block it. Vegeta could just use his ultimate and just push Piccolo away. Like that's why Piccolo, I had him in Great Roll before, but he's good in roll. And Kale, they both lost skill boost 1 for their damage, and skill 2 doesn't really do anything damage wise for any of them. Kale can benefit from it, but still, and again, generally, just having characters tank here recently, I just think it's really mostly Vegeta's existence, which is kind of crazy, but like having a tank character along with Caulifla around, like both of them blocking energy blast, like that's two top tier tank characters around. And Caulifla still has her provoke. It's just very nasty. And keep in mind, tanks in general are tankier. Duh, because of buildup as well. So it's harder to kill these tank characters on top of that, and that helps Caulifla's provoke quite a bit. But I wanted to kind of put these two there. Again, we're just kind of filling things out. When it comes to other tanks that would be great in role, I think it's Caulifla. And I think I still would put Cooler here. I feel like Cooler's HP loss definitely hurts him, the HP and shield loss. And the thing about Cooler is, to me, it feels like they're trying to make tanks really purely defensive focused, but Cooler, like, he has his iframes extended, which is really nice. I just think that, like, he felt like more of a damage, like a closer like to a mix of damage and tankiness rather than just pure tankiness like Caulifla and Vegeta were. At least based on what I've seen from that. I think Cooler's still really good and did get a net gain though from this kind of patch, so I think I will still keep Cooler here. Caulifla though, before I would say I think it was more arguable for Cooler between Caulifla, but now I just think Caulifla is like an option I would just say is better than Cooler right now. What do you think?
I think, yeah, it's pretty close. The only way I could maybe argue Cooler above Caulifla is just because of Caulifla's ultimate. I feel like Caulifla's ultimate doesn't really have like any game-changing properties, but if you can go back to the tier list for a second, what are all the top DPS in the game? Like Super Saiyan Goku, and it's Goku, right? And their ultimates do tons of damage and have it where it's a giant AoE. So when Cooler brings everyone in with his ultimate, and you pair it with that, or Bojack's ultimate, it like pulls everyone in and then kills everyone. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Cooler's ultimate is so good. Like between the two, I would say Cooler's ultimate is better, but still providing
the survivability of Caulifla though is still insane regardless.
Applying provoke,
if anything, her survivability also just got better because of her skill 3 buff.
Exactly. And applying provoked to multiple enemies at once is still very good. And even if you don't use it for that, you could use it for max action burst because it has like a very there's another skill that has a very low cooldown, right? You see this very, very often. Same with Vegeta. It feels like Vegeta and Caulifla's ultimates are super short cooldown wise. You're able to spam Vegeta's kind of super attack, which again allows him to push people around, and again hurts a character like Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Piccolo, but characters that don't necessarily like this kind of launch their ability, like I think this guy, kind of aren't as bothered by it, at least like his Spirit Bomb specifically. But Caulifla kind of does the opposite, where the attacks are aimed towards her rather than just pushing these enemies out. So that's where I'm thinking when it comes to Caulifla being better than Cooler, but I still think I would have Cooler here. Let's continue down the list and let's just see what else we kind of add through there. And we're just kind of going through it and like not necessarily winging it, but when it comes to other tanks, I think no other tank I would really put in great in role here. Technical, I would say Hits fits up here, and I would say Majin Buu also fits up here. I mean, I've taught, like, we know about Hit, right? Like, Hit's really annoying, but he basically got untouched, like, at all. Like, Hit's not a character that has been adjusted, and just the blinding he could do, man, is stupid.
The Invisible Man supporter, I feel like, could be argued as like a slight buff. I haven't seen too many people use it, but I've heard that it works well with Hit, so I don't know. I have to like test that a little bit more though.
And you know, you could also theoretically use Hit to sneak around and revive your allies if you have the medical the medical pod. Too, yeah. So that's very funny too. Like Hit it just backdooring is so backdooring can be very strong in this game. And with Super Saiyan 3 Goku kind of having a slight counter against, like, being countered against Vegeta, I feel like I haven't seen Super Saiyan 3 Goku as much, actually, which is kind of funny and kind of crazy to say, but I have not really seen Super Saiyan 3 Goku as much. So, like, Hit, for example, he's able to kind of be a little more free moving around the map and backdooring and stuff like that, too. Majin Buu's heal, I think, is just always going to be really good. Majin Buu's not as good as he was before, though, because skill 1 up was actually removed from the game. But this guy is still pretty useful. I do like Majin Buu quite a bit. So I would
skill boost 2 increase the amount of HP that he heals?
No. It is it's only the damage that skill will do. So I was almost tempted to actually move Buu down to good and roll, but I think he still has a lot of value. In my opinion, I think Candy Beam is way more powerful than people give it credit for. I think it could be used for some very nasty moves. And if done right, you could use it to kind of get a big push on a tower. I mean, you could use Candy Beam plus Cooler's ult as well.
Yeah.
That could be really funny. One thing I didn't talk about Vegeta as well, by the way, is his mega long stun. Like, I'm kind of jumping over the place here. This Vegeta stun is so stupid.
The wall kick, it actually needs to be nerfed, like genuinely.
Like, actually, Vegeta is... we kind of glossed over Vegeta, like, just being best by far, but, like... This stun lasts longer than any other stagger in the game. This wall just blocks everything. That's a Ki Blast move, and it just gives them extra health, and it allows them to push people back. You could take towers with this. You could protect towers with this. You could push enemies into tower. You could push enemies away from boss. This also pushes enemies away from boss. It's a really short cooldown. Like, this guy's incredible, man. Dumb character. You were gonna say something?
Nerfs will be soon.
Yeah, sure.
Due to the, like, the fact that skill 2 got boosted, and then that's like one of his best skills in terms of, like, you know, just the stun, and then you just get something like super start. Oh, I had it where I don't remember which video of yours it was, but it was the one that you recorded yesterday. But I was bottom lane, and we just kept bullying them because there's so much walls you can use to just push against. And then because they're stunned so long, Super Saiyan Goku or Daima Goku will just burst the damage and do all the AoE attack, and then that's it. They're dead. Like, they get no counterplay. There's nothing you can do to counter that.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than put down the controller.
And his transformation gives him a decent amount of health too. Like, Vegeta's really good.
Yeah, he has like one of the highest healths for tanks, man. It's crazy.
For sure, man. And again, it's just like he's disgusting. I feel like him and Kid Gohan stands like it's very solidly in their slot here, but it's attacker that can kind of change between what's going on here. Let's take a look. I think Vegeta is pretty safely in good and roll. He did get extra health earlier on in the game. Besides that, he's very truly the same character, right? He didn't really get like changes to his skills or anything like that, of course. He's good, and he's just slightly better, so I think it's good for him. But I wouldn't say he's like a character that is like very oppressive against
skill boost 2 though. I would say
it's
that
good.
It's a lot better than the first skill in my opinion, but it does help with a lot of the early game like clearing. I would say, because man,
yeah,
that proton bomber, man, it's pretty good.
I could definitely see that for sure with Vegeta's just like having the extra skill 2 damage against the mob, specifically when farming. It could be really good. So I think Vegeta's able to hold his own quite well. I don't know if I would put Zamasu there. I'm gonna say no. I think Zamasu needs still more adjustments, honestly. What do you think? I feel like Zamasu just doesn't have the peel that Vegeta could do too, and the shield restoration is more consistent in this guy. But we'll talk about Zamasu later. When it comes to technicals, Gotenks is obviously here. I feel like Gotenks. I'm trying to find like the right words to say it. Like Gotenks is very, very good. Well, firstly, I don't want like too many of more attackers in a kind of slot is fine with me, but we do got to consider the fact that you can only pick one technical and one tank character, and it's like, okay, you could pick Gotenks, but I think right now currently I would rather pick Gohan and Hit. I guess maybe should I do this? Yeah, I think this might be what I do. Move Buu down a tier just because he.
Honestly, the only reason why I would move Gotenks up is because if you use it with Vegeta's wall kick and you consistently get that stun, like it's just zero counter.
I mean, we've seen that, and it's happened to me before. In team fights, you have Gotenks stagger, you have Gotenks stagger plus Vegeta stagger together,
and the ult. Oh my god!
And
don't even get me started, man. You pair all of that together. You can do nothing. You are sitting there for 10 seconds, stunned against the wall, stunned with Gotenks 1, stunned with Gotenks' ultimate. Like it's absurd.
Yeah, I think right.
All stuns need to be lowered. Genuinely, it's so dumb.
You're right. I think switching Gotenks to Buu make more sense to me. I feel more comfortable with that. Then I think I will put 17. No, I think I'll put. Frieza got nerfed. 17 got nerfed, or 17 got buffed. Not nerfed. I don't think 17's buffs are like they're good. But it's mostly his skill 3 that got an impact. So we'll talk about 17 later. I think 17 doesn't really fit here just yet.
I think there's an argument just because of how good the movement speed for the barrier can be for 17, because it can get a lot of characters out of situations. And I don't know if you've seen, right, but what's the movement speed helper for support?
What's it called? Bubbles. I've seen a clip where like Bubbles plus 17 skill is like a huge speed boost. I was also thinking of that. The thing is that like outside of that, what does 17 really do for you though? Like, because it's like it's kind of just like his skill 3, and then everyone else also could use Bubbles. Like, what is 17 doing that's like standing out? Besides that double skill for skill 3, he's not really doing anything to me that I'm like, oh yeah, like 17. Like, I think Boo's heal plus his candy beam plus his gum slowdown, like he's doing multiple of these things that can be quite oppressive to the enemy, or at least help in a certain way. It could even like technically peel for your ally as well. And since characters are tankier, Boo's heal gets more value on top of that. But 17, I guess you could say his, of course, shield gets more value from characters being tankier. It's just that he's not doing multiple things. And his ultimate, while the actual like length of his ultimate was increased, I don't think it's like a crazy increase. He's not really doing crazy damage. Like, he could be.
I just wish I wish they buffed his skill 2, because his skill 2 has the stun really on it. But yeah,
it's just not good right now. You have to use your second input to get the stagger, and you have to hit the enemy with it again, of course. Which, like, I mean, I guess being fair, but then you see Kid Gohan, you see hits, you see Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Like, characters that just kind of just stagger for free, essentially. And 17 has to jump through these hoops. And then you lose the speed boost on skill 3, because you also have to double input skill 3 for that. That's why I think 17 is still decent to roll. He just needs a little bit more to him, but it definitely is a good start. And skill 3 is very powerful. It's just kind of all he has.
Yeah.
His ult could be used in situations and it could look good, but I'm not like, oh god, 17 popped his ult, guys, we're in danger. It's not like that all the time. Like, it's situational. It's only if you're already, it feels like it's only if you're like already in a situation that you're losing, that 17 kind of like can turn the tide fully to that. But like if you're like in an even situation, it kind of leads to a stalemate. If anything, I feel like a lot of people like can kind of escape that, especially when it's not maxed out, which maxing out ultimates can take a while.
I'd probably put Frieza in good and roll then, to be honest.
I think Frieza did get a nerf.
Yeah, but it was just one little part of it, no?
It's not a little part. Zarbon, it takes a few extra seconds for Zarbon to actually get recalled back, right? If you take a look here for Frieza, sword and cooldown via canceling skill from 4 to 6 seconds, it takes an extra few seconds for Zarbon to kind of come back. And I would say, as long as you focus Zarbon with Frieza, not only does he lose skill 1 damage up, but if you're able to focus on Zarbon, it's not as big of a deal. And I think, you know, Bojack getting buffed, there's an attacker that can really, really be good at field control. Vegeta's existence, just like, what does Frieza do against bosses? He sets Zarbon in the door and melts those bosses. Vegeta ults, they're out of there. Vegeta could push them out. Vegeta's existence hurts Frieza in a crazy way against bosses, and when he doesn't have that, what is he really doing? That's my point about that.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just that the ultimate for Frieza is just insane, especially late game.
I mean, it could be
when
really
it's
good,
able to hit everything,
but like,
and you have it for every team.
What character
fight.
can you not say that for? Their ultimate end game is really good. Like, what characters can you not really say that for? Like, I feel like that's like that applies to many characters. And you know, Frieza's could be more. You could argue he's more top, like higher up there, but. I don't know. I just like when it's a point that can apply to multiple top tier characters, it doesn't really get to that situation. You know, when we're talking about Frieza versus 17, it's like they're doing that one thing, but that one thing could be kind of like when it comes to 17, he's doing that one thing well, can't necessarily be countered, but he's underwhelming everything else. Frieza's really good at that one thing he does, but Vegeta's existence counters that. And then there's a lot of ranged characters right now that can kind of also counter Frieza, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Bojack. I think Gamma's skill 3, you know, Gammas are better, so you could say that. Like, there's many characters that can just burst down Zarbon as well.
You know, I would have probably argued more for Frieza being good if it wasn't for chipping tower early game just getting nerfed. So Frieza can't even do his job of like sneaking around tower and then having it because Zarbon has like such a big cooldown and running something like Gekishin high, you're just able to like get it really fast with Frieza. Like you can't really do that anymore because early game you're not getting towers as fast.
Exactly. I agree with that. Let's keep looking here. I guess when it comes to decent on roll, I would put Zamasu. Honestly, Zamasu's buffs is a good start in the right direction, but we still need a lot more for Zamasu. He needs crowd control. He needs, I mean, like, okay, Cooler has like a little, Cooler has his kind of, it's not a stagger, but he has multiple crowd control options. He gets rid of Vanish. He could pin someone down to the ground. His ultimate pulls people in. Caulifla has Provoke. Vegeta has his stagger. Vegeta could push people back with his barrier. This guy has skill 2. Like, Zamasu doesn't have that outside of his ultimate. Every other character has multiple ways to kind of. Well, Caulifla's only has Provoke. Provoke is like broken. Provoke is like one of the better abilities in the game still. Zamasu just doesn't really have that as much, honestly. I think I would put 18 here. 18 got a good adjustment, but I just think she's really like, she could be annoying, especially early game, but late game she kind of falls off. I think is her biggest issue. Was I feel like that was
always her issue, and then they nerfed how many destructiveness she got late game. Like I think that was such a dumb decision.
I think like some people are torn on it. Some people think it's nice to have an extra destructo disc early on, so it's situational. But I still think that like she didn't get a like, especially when it gets comparing to a lot of these other characters, she doesn't have like that mega scary like multiple characters can get killed factor, or like kind of even like Piccolo at least has like a really good evasion move with his arm grab. The more I see it, the more I'm like, I kind of do like it. And he has decent crowd, like he has decent like field lane kind of control with the movement speed down on his skill too. I feel like that could really like be good for keeping enemies from entering somewhere. He doesn't really have that. She's kind of full force damage, but like a lot of characters could do really impressive damage as well. So I don't know. I think Oob would be here too. I think Oob's good. He just needs more secure early on. If Oob gets really good secure early on, he can start to look really good. But he's, again, like I said, a lot of these characters could look good in the right hands. It's just they need, there's a little bit of extra juice, right? Just like a lot of these characters need minimal buffs at this point.
Oob I think could easily look good in role if it was,
yeah,
if only you have the Team Go one, like that's it.
Oh yeah, no, I've used Oob with Team Go plus Kid Gohan. It could look very nasty.
Yeah, you just have to, if you don't got that though, it's nothing changed.
And
like all they did was lower his cooldown by 2 seconds, man. That's all. That's the,
yeah,
they gave him
no,
scraps.
it was
buffs.
a 1 second lower. It's just like it's a kind of like an insult, honestly. If Oob, honestly, if his skill, I mean, you could even say his skill 3 did a little more burst damage. Like you could, like if Oob had like this like better secure on, like this guy could start looking really powerful. He's just missing that. It's just like these characters like Kale and Piccolo at least have that, and these characters just like have dominant lane control, honestly. So I don't know. Oob doesn't really give that energy off. I think Trunks could fit here.
Yeah, I would say so.
I would almost say Trunks is closer to just needing buff, but this is sad. So we'll put the rest of these characters here. I don't think we have to kind of keep that. Dabura got buffs. It was a really, really, really good buff.
It's so funny. He actually got like one of the bigger buffs this season. And Dabura is still one of the worst DPSs. And the only reason why is because his skills like need a rework in a way. Like
I think his
just
kit
not,
needs
it's
a
not
rework.
good.
It's
Yeah.
him and Toppo. These type of characters, you could even say at least Oob has like his candy beam, I guess, right? Which is good. These characters, where it's like they will apply this debuff over time, essentially, like they just don't work in this game because burst damage is way too good still. They buffed World King, so that, like, it's funny because they buffed World King, which makes characters tankier. No, sorry, I'm stupid. They buffed build up, buff VC makes a lot of characters tankier, and they also buffed World King to kind of compensate for the damage. And it's like, okay, well now it takes longer for Toppo to kill someone, for example. It takes, you know, probably a bit longer for Dabura to kill someone. Like I've had situations where I stone spit someone, but because a lot of characters are tankier now, it's kind of harder to kill, especially with how tanky tanks are now. Like sometimes you might not even get to kill those enemies if they have 7+ build up stacks plus solid barrier plus, you know, I don't know if they have defense step, or if you're facing a Dabura take limit breaking jump, that's 2 situations you can get a 50% decrease on his what's it called, what's the ring around him, what is it called again, his demon's domain. He has the petrification gauge, right? Like, yeah. There's just ways to get around Dabura. I think it's so easy. And like, okay, Dabura wants to be in your face. Let's take a look at the best characters in the game. Diamond Goku could sit from like 60 miles away. Super Saiyan Goku here could also sit from like 60 miles away. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we know. Bojack sits from 60 miles away. Gammas kind of are more an up close and personal character, but they can also decently range you out, and they're kind of like I think them and Goku are like kind of closer to being a dive character, if that makes sense. Like the way you kind of play them. You could just like kind of wait around and then dive into the enemy and melt their HP really quickly. They're like a dive burst. Kale and Piccolo can sit from far. What happened?
I was gonna say, it's funny. I am like the biggest Toppo hater, like one of the biggest ones, right? Like I even told you, I text you right after, like the day after Toppo came out. I was like, I wish I never bought this character. If I could go back in time and not make a showcase on this guy, I would have, because this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, I just
the only thing, he at least can kill bosses. Dabura has nothing other than his ultimate to help him get bosses. All of his skills do not work. I guess only like his skill 1. That's it. Toppo can help at least secure bosses with his ultimate and just like his like God of Destruction stuff. But like, dude, Dabura, like I told you before the video that I think there should be like an honorary Bojack.
Honestly, maybe I
fucking hate Dabura.
Needs a rework.
Yeah, like he's so bad, dude. I hate Dabura so much, man. Rework him.
Like I don't know. I like that petrification gauge like idea. I don't know. It just like it just doesn't work with with the characters they released. Like it's like they didn't think about how he would interact with any of the other characters besides tanks. And even Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta says fuck you to this guy, because he has multiple moves that push enemies back. He has this barrier, which if Dabura is in front of him, Vegeta has no obstruction, which means that Dabura can't even petrify this guy. Vegeta could have a full petrification gauge up. If the barrier is then activated in front of Vegeta, Dabura cannot petrify him because he's not able to be obstructed. Kale is a character as well. I have too many tabs open. Kale is a character as well that can't be obstructed. And it's like, okay, so it's like we're talking about characters that can kind of have multiple evasive moves. Like Bojack doesn't, but he stays like far away. But everyone else at least also has evasive moves away. Like it just, you're able to zone out Dabura way too easy, and it just every good character is able to just counter him. And
even on top of that, like Toppo at least has his third ability for counters. Dabura has nothing. If you get caught with Dabura, you just die.
Like you're just dead. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens with this guy. He's like full damage, but it's like he can't get his abilities up. Like, because Toppo, the thing with Toppo is his counter is actually, it could do a lot of damage, but you can avoid it so easily. I actually like his skill too. I think
you can avoid it, you can obstruct it. Like there's counters to Toppo's counter, which is funny.
The thing is that like I feel like it's a lot easier to utilize Toppo than it is to utilize Dabura. And if Toppo gets like, I don't know, skill 1 just kind of sucks, honestly. If skill 1 and his ultimate, like if his ultimate does more damage and skill 1 maybe even apply, like what if this guy could apply like 1 or 2 more DOT stacks than he already has right now, and skill 1 is a lot better, then his ultimate will do more damage on top of that, just by default, and maybe they buff his ultimate a little bit where to make it a lot faster. Toppo could actually be quite good, and he could actually have the ability to melt bosses even. And the thing about Toppo is he at least has movement speed up to self. If he marked him with the Mark of Destruction, he's actually quite fast. But he just needs a little more for confirming kills, is really, I think, what Toppo is missing. He doesn't have the ability to confirm kills as good as some of these dispersed damage characters, but Dabura is like
Toppo can at least be an early game demon. Dabura has like no place in the game where he is good at all.
it's just so unfortunate. And like literally the basic universal defensive mechanic counters Dabura, and every character has that. Like Toppo, you can't vanish And oh my god, the destruction stacks are gone now because they vanished. Dabura, like you could just be like, yeah, I'm not petrified anymore, basically. Bye. Right? Especially if you and your ally are like peeling each other really well, or like keeping your distance properly from Dabura, like you can't do anything. Toppo at least has like some range to his moves too. Dabura's range on his skill 1 is awful. It's actually terrible. His range on his skill 2 is also terrible. What the hell? Terrible.
Terrible.
Actually, you know, all of his skills range are pretty bad. You really think about it. He only has movement speed up when he does this, but the enemy already can't vanish. So it's like, okay, that's cool. And it's like, okay, maybe you need to time this a little better so that the enemy can't necessarily vanish like outside of, you know, like his petrification gauge, but you have to hit it, and it's like so situational, and I don't know. This is a little unfortunate for this guy. So since he just got buffs, I think you get a Cell. His design just isn't gonna work. Cell, I've talked enough about Cell. Baby, I think needs more. Though you could say Baby.
Don't you dare! Don't you slide him in! Don't you slide him in!
I'm not going to, but you could say Baby's arguably in a better spot right now because if you're running defense cards on all your characters, even your DPS characters now, then like Baby, his heals like get more use, and you're able to possess a little safer if a character is like lower HP.
Yeah, the whole thing I think about Baby is it genuinely just depends on who your DPS is and how good they are. Because if you have like a really, really good DPS, I think Baby could look good or even decent in role for sure. It's just like the tank's job is to keep whoever they're with alive, and Baby does a really good job of that, while also helping it by because of the attacks that he does. You can secure a lot of kills from people who are trying to run away because it doesn't slow the person that you're inside of, but it still slows the person because they lose that like the built up movement speed, you know. But yeah, I think he still just, like you said, just needs buffs. It's because the others just do that job better, and they're a lot better alone. Baby is like, if I don't have anyone near me, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I see that. And Krillin just needs buffs as well. Like I just feel like like even worse than 17 and Frieza, a lot of his moves are situational, and they don't like the effects that his moves have don't really last too long, or are just inferior versions of other characters' moves. Like Krillin has the blind that applies a marking and attack down. That's really cool. But it lasts for a short period of time compared to Hit, who could at any point use his ultimate and just like blind everyone around an area. Now, of course, that's a skill versus an ultimate, but I don't really think this does enough. This mine again. I mean, what like we look at Bojack compared to this guy? I don't know. Like for example, and I know it's technical versus attacker, but he should have more mines available, honestly. Gotenks has like 1 billion ghosts, for example. His ultimate's decent. Skill 3, it's good for getting first hits. And I don't know. That's kind of really the biggest thing about it. The blind could be cool. Or it's not a blind, it's the smoke effect, which is nice, but I don't know. He just needs more to him.
It just goes away too fast.
Yeah, it goes away really too fast. And it's like a lot of these things that Krillin's doing, other characters just kind of could do better at like whatever you're trying to accomplish with Krillin. Like if you're trying to go like damage with Krillin in a sense, or like defending a tower or something, you just go Gotenks, right? If you're trying to like go for like marking enemies or blinding them, you have Shu and Hit. You use Hit and Shu together. I don't know. That's kind of it. So I think this is the tier list. I think this looks pretty good to me. I don't know if there's any, like, again, the biggest thing is Super Saiyan 3. I just think I really think it's Vegeta's existence that takes the cake for me, and Goku earlier on being just like really good at securing bosses. But you could definitely switch Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan if you're really annoyed by him. Yeah, yeah, especially, yeah, I think that makes sense to me. So, any last words, Mike? Hello?
Sorry, I like my Discord crashed for a second.
Oh, I was like, okay, that's crazy. And I'll keep that in the video. That's funny. Any last words, bro?
Gulp. No, I like I said, I think that you definitely can swap Super Saiyan 3 Goku with Best in Roll. It's like how you just said, it's just Vegeta's existence that could shut him down a lot. And a lot of the other characters have something to at least help with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Like Goku has his Meteor Hammer, the Pansy Bombs for Daima Goku. And it's just like Super Saiyan 3 Goku could just gets like outright, just stopped from that, So I guess I could agree with that. And dude, his skill 2 still sucks.
Yeah,
so...
skill 2 boost doesn't. Skill 2 boost doesn't like for this guy. I mean, it kind of does. Like at least it even helps Bojack and Gammas more than Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
Congratulations, his skill 2 now does 3 damage instead of 2.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. I mean, Bojack just like blows up 2 enemies at once with the skill 2, right?
World King down. Guess what? Now you do 4 damage.
Dude, Bojack does so much damage. Bojack's so good. Yeah, Dabura haters still going strong. Anyways, one and off. I hate Dabura. Thanks y'all for watching, and
fuck Dabura.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.